Metroid is a series that started all the way back in August 6th of 1986 with the NES game Metroid. While Metroid has always been one of Nintendo's staple franchises, it never reached the popularity of something like the Legend of Zelda series or the Mario franchise. But in the early 2000s, there was a spree of Metroid games being released. And one of the Metroid games released in this era was Metroid Zero Mission, a remake of the original Metroid game on the NES. And in this video, I will begin the task of playing through this game from start to finish. Before we start the video, I want to clarify some things. Number 1. This video took a month to make, so I would appreciate you watching the video until the end. Number 2. The quality of the footage you see, while it would be nice, won't be a thing for all of the videos on my channel going forward, unless I were to get a better hardware. Number 3. If you want to see more of this kind of content where I voice over everything, then let me know in the comments down below. And without further delay, I present to you the first part of my Metroid Zero Mission playthrough. Our adventure begins as we land on our protagonist's home planet, Planet Zabiz. Who is our protagonist, you ask? None other than Samus Aran, on her so-called Zero Mission to eradicate Mother Brain. We start by going left because if video games have taught me anything, it's that left is always right. And that is very true in our case, as we find the Morph Ball sitting on a strange pedestal. The Morph Ball lets us squeeze through small crevices, while breaking every bone in our body. As we tread through the caverns of Zebes, we find an tank up in a random spot in the roof. But despite our best efforts, we can't reach it right now. So we'll have to come back for it later. Just a few steps past the E-Tank, however, we find a Chozo statue. For those who don't know, the Chozo are the species that once inhabited this planet, but have since been going down the path of extinction, and with that foresight in mind, they have left these statues here as a guidance for us and as guardians over some of the abilities that we will soon come to appreciate. This Chozo statue, for example, points us north and refills our health for us. And something I like about this game, and about the Metroid series as a whole, is just how open it is, and how the game lets you take the side path without making you feel like you're doing something wrong. Like this split path here, for example. You have the option to continue going the direction the Chozo statue pointed you towards, or you could go see what's behind that oh-so-tempting door. And the game rewards you for choosing the other path by giving you a save point, so you can save your progress. This split pathway may seem insignificant considering the more dangerous split paths in this game, but it's a nice little detail that I appreciate nonetheless. Or maybe I'm just looking too deep into this, I don't know. After saving the game, we continue upwards, and come across a door to the left of us, that leads us to a Chozo holding the long beam. The long beam turns our Weevil to I'm Gru! The long beam turns our wee little handgun to an AK-47, letting our shots go farther. And after leaving the room with our newfound ability, we are met with another split road. I went left because if video games taught me anything is that left is always right. Sometimes right. We find a strange room with two stone figures blocking our way, and since Samus can't phase through matter, we are forced to go the opposite direction. Ah! A purple thing with legs! Surely Oh. He's already dead. Yeah, this is going to be a common theme for this game, because the mini-bosses are kind of underwhelming. But let's not ponder on that too much, because the Chozo next door says we have to go this way. With a little bit of backtracking, we find another vertical hallway, except this one has a red door that can't be opened by a normal gun. The bottom of the vertical hallway leads us to another hallway, but this one seems to be unstable as the roof above us is crumbling. Past that, however, is the ever-so-useful missile tank, which gives us a new weapon to use in combat, and also opens the red door we saw earlier. There are a lot of missile tanks spread through this entire planet, so it'd be very inconvenient to take the time to explain all of them. But the tanks that have a catch to it, or have some unique attribute in the room that I found it in, will be mentioned. After collecting the missile tank, we go left again because Josh forgot he was recording, and it's a huge earth crawler! Whatever are we going to do?
A few moments later.
Oh, he's already dead. Well, we get the charge beam out of it, so it wasn't completely irrelevant. The charge beam lets us charge up shots so that it becomes basically another missile. But with the amount of missiles you find in this game, I don't think this upgrade will be of much use. It still has its moments though. Since we got missiles, we can now open up the red door. The hallway the red door led to had some mosquitoes flying around, so I ran as fast as possible. Past the mosquito hallway was the source of the mosquitoes. I shot all of them, so I think should be fine now. On our adventure, we will be collecting a lot of collectibles, but none are as funny as the E-Tank. The E-Tank will increase our health by 100. Extra health will be very beneficial for when we fight bosses that pack more of a punch. After a few more vertical hallways, we find the next essential upgrade to our toolkit, the Morph Bombs. Morph Bombs allow us to fart out miniature bombs, and some bricks, like these ones, can only be broken when using them. Behind said bricks is a missile tank. After collecting this item, we use the Morph Ball Bombs to break an opening to another Chozo statue that we couldn't access before. This Chozo leads us to Norfair. This missile tank I find to be interesting because you usually need the power grip, an item we'll come across later to access it. But if you're quick enough, you can grab it in time. It's just another way the game lets you do things differently. But anyway, we arrive at Norfair, a lava-based section of Zebes, and we will be coming here often. For now though, we are presented with another split path. The right path is the way that the Chozo statue pointed us towards, and I initially went right to save the save station, but I then went left, because left is sometimes right. After some hallway action, we find an elevator here, and because of, insert reason here, we go up the elevator. This elevator leads us to Crateria, a damp area filled with water. You'd think the water would have evaporated because of Norfair being underneath it, but I guess things just don't work the same way here. Found a missile tank swimming with the fishes, and then wall jumped upwards. What's up here, you may be asking? Another new area, because property taxes are way too high in Crateria for stable living. This area is called the Chozo Ruins, and as you could expect, it has a lot of Chozo inspiration. After rolling through some narrow passageways, we find an unknown. Let's name him Jimbotheus. The Chozo part of this place is very apparent when you look at the pillars. Across this path is... After shooting the wall with our gun, we find the power grip, an item ported over by Metroid Fusion that lets us grab ledges. This item isn't 100% necessary, but it's a nice quality of life option to have at our disposal. So this is where I parked my car. After finding the power grip, there isn't much we can do in the Chozo Ruins, so we'll have to go back to Norfair. After collecting everything on this left quarter, we went right from the safe station and, after crossing more horizontal hallways, found a room that didn't look like it belonged in Norfair. There were these oversized pimples all over the wall. I guess Planet Zebes is still going through puberty. Up the pimple hallway were two doors, one leading to a room that was too hot for me to handle, and the other room I could handle. Oh, don't mind me, just taking a lava bath. After taking a refreshing bath, we collected the ice beam, an upgrade to our weapon that allows us to freeze enemies. Now, funny enough, I found myself with a split path again, and I chose up because that was obviously the more secretive way. But when I went to do the loop back to see what the room on the left was, it was just a safe room. Freedom was never for the weak! I did find another missile tank while going back, so it wasn't all a waste of time. While I was talking about a waste of time, I forgot to mention that a Chozo pointed us towards the direction of Kraid. So after 5 whole minutes of backtracking, we made our way to Kraid, the area. Kraid as an area is kind of boring. It doesn't really have a different visual style. Future Josh, for some clarification, Kraid does have a unique visual style. It just doesn't really pop out compared to all the other areas, you know, at least in my opinion. So there's your clarification. On with the video. Boom shakalaka, subscribe. After going through the right door and killing the local pests, we find a suspicious looking floor tile and shoot it to reveal a little underground bunker. This bunker had a morph ball elevator, or catapult, or whatever you want to call it, and we use it to propel ourselves to the top of the room, making sure to get the missile tank along the way. After murdering some innocent crab families, we found a switch that lets us ride on these conveyor belt things, so now we can be super cool and, oh hey, an E-Tank.
Oh, an acid worm! Whatever are we going to do?
A few moments later.
Oh. He's already dead. Now you might be saying,
Oh, come on, Josh, it wasn't dead, is it? You took an entire e-tank to have. Oh!
Well, my dear viewer, I made a fumble and it cost me quite a bit of health. But might I remind you that I have beaten this game before? After the police interrogation ended, I backtracked to the cool vertical hallway and went through the blue door to the left. It was pretty uneventful, so to save you the time, I'm not gonna show it. Yet. The door to the right had an tank, but I couldn't get it yet, so I had to go back. This missile tank is pretty challenging to get because you have to get on the conveyor belt while it's running back, but it didn't take too long to get. Remember that uneventful doorway I skipped over? Well, it's important now because in this room specifically, you can fall down here to get closer to. Oh look, a suspicious crack on the floor. I wonder where it leads us. Oh look, another unknown. Jimbotheus, meet Clara. There was a lot of nothing through this entire section, but I found another hole in the floor, so that's something. These crabs get so angry that they launch their eyeballs out when they die. An actual eyeball! Is that foreshadowing? The next boss is Kraid. I usually take forever beating Kraid, but this time I beat him first try. Here's the full clip.
Hello, Kraid. Hello, Kraid. Nice to meet you. Kraid, would you like to have some waffles? Kraid, don't throw your toenails. I want to cut your toenails. Kraid, come on, buddy. I don't want you to throw your toenails.
Yo,
at
Dan,
me.
you mind?
Dan. Stop
Dr.
it.
Trioris, let me
Dan.
kill you.
Terrorists.
Oh, we're doing foot. We're doing it from the foot now.
Oh, Taurus, why are you sinking?
Dr. Trioris, why are you dying? Just shove a bunch of missiles down his throat and he dies. Wow, very easy. Honestly, 0 out of 10, boss.
As you can see, me and my brother were in a very British mood.
As a reward for defeating Kraid, we found the speed booster. In a nutshell, it's a superstar for Giga-Chats. If we run interrupted for a long amount of time, we become invincible and can break any block with this logo on it. Also, as a result of our efforts, one of the heads in what I will call the head room opened up. So now it's just one to go. Now that we've defeated Kraid, we can get out of here. But right before we leave, we collected that tank we couldn't collect before and save our progress. That, my friends, was the first part of my Metroid Zero mission playthrough, or whatever you want to call it. If you enjoyed the video, or my content in general, then liking the video and subscribing to my channel would be very much appreciated. Also, sharing the video would help reach it to more people, so, you know, just if you feel like it. But anyways, thanks for watching the whole way through, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!